I admit it. I love all the nostalgia surrounding Christmas, but it isn't really the nostalgia, is it? It's what it reminds us of. It takes me back to times with people I love. It reminds me of a, not perfectly so, I know, but a more generous, more open, more ready for what could be kind of world. The sort of thing that appears in us and among us when we make room for something new to be born. Nostalgia doesn't create that difference we sense in each other. No, nostalgia grows out of it. And that spirit, that bigger than ourselvesness, that grows out of a story, which is another one of the golden gifts of Christmas. A story that, though it has been told many times, many ways, is told today by many people who have teamed up, each in their own homes, to share it with us, thanks to some glue and some kicks in the butt from Granny May. In fact, I believe that this garage right here is where some of that Christmas story was told this time. A garage, kind of like a stable, and that's kind of fun. So, are you ready for the telling of the Christmas story? If you're ready, type ready in the chat so they know it's time to start. Okay? Great. We don't want to miss this.
I have a surprise for you. We are indeed going to put on a Christmas play.
It was Christmas Eve in South Minneapolis, but it wasn't how we normally do things.
No big Christmas gatherings, no caroling or cookie exchanges or hot cocoa with friends.
How can we put on a play when we can't even be together?
How would we rehearse?
What about costumes?
But what about the roller skating snowflakes?
Not to worry. Being together might not look the same this year, but together is more than any one space, and Christmas is bigger than any one place. Now, I've sent you a bag with some things to make this play come to life. Take a look inside and learn your lines. This is all going to come together.
Lines? With this pandemic brain, I can't even remember what day it is.
Not to worry, you'll be fine. We're all in this together.
We all took a look in our bags and pulled out our costumes.
Who's playing Mary? Head to the kitchen and sit at the table. Pretend you're chopping carrots or something.
But I don't even like carrots.
Angel Gabriel, are you ready? Find some place to hide and then wait for your cue. Many years ago, there lived a young girl named Mary who lived in the town of Nazareth.
We can't go to Nazareth with a travel ban and all.
Hush now, we're telling the story. Now, one day, Mary was busy doing her chores when an angel named Gabriel stopped by to see her. Ta-da! Nice touch, Gabriel. Well, Mary was scared half to death, and who wouldn't be? So Gabriel said to her,
Don't be afraid, Mary.
Gabriel told Mary that she was going to have a baby, and that the baby would be God's son, and that his name would be Jesus.
Wait a minute. Godson? What kind of name is Jesus, anyways?
Well, you bring up a great part of the story. You see, God's people have been waiting a long time for this baby to arrive.
As long as we've been in quarantine?
Longer, way longer. The prophets had been talking about the one who would be coming, who would make all things new and show us what God's big love for the world was all about. The prophets said that this baby would be called Emmanuel.
Manu what?
Emmanuel, a name that is all about God being together with us. Seems pretty perfect for us this year, when being together feels hard to do.
Moving on, I think I have the next line.
Granny winked at Mary.
But after thinking about all this, and if God trusts me, alright, I'll do it.
And with that, the angel went away.
Ta-da!
Everyone, to the bedroom. Who's playing Joseph? Oh yeah, get your costume on and lie down. Pretend to be asleep. Gabriel, find another hiding place.
When everyone was set, Granny continued with the story.
Now Mary was supposed to get married to a carpenter named Joseph.
Married? But I'm only 10 years old!
Hush now, you're supposed to be sleeping. Now, Joseph was tossing and turning. He didn't know what to do. Had Mary been with someone else? What would people say? Maybe he should call the whole wedding off.
Joseph was just falling into a deeper sleep, having decided he was going to call the whole thing off.
Relaxed it is until he got a midnight visit from his good friend Gabriel.
Shh, don't wake him up. Just whisper in his ear. Pretend that he's having a dream.
Don't be afraid, Joseph. You should marry Mary. This baby is special. He will be a wonderful teacher. He will bring many people peace. He will teach us all about being loved by God and how to love each other. Oh yeah, and you should call him Jesus when he's born.
They sure are hung up on that name, Jesus.
Enough from the spectators. The name Jesus had meaning for the people of that time. It would help them see that this baby was special and here to rescue us from the smallest version of who we think we can be and who we think God is. The name Jesus means rescuer.
Cool.
When the angel went away, Joseph woke up and he and Mary got married.
But I'm too young to be married!
Hush now, it's almost time for your line.
9 months passed.
1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months!
And Mary was quite pregnant now.
When Joseph came home with some bad news, clearing his throat and saying as sadly as he could,
We must go to Bethlehem.
Why?
Because the Roman emperor wanted to count everyone in his kingdom. And to make it easier, he had everyone go back to his or her hometown. And for Joseph, that meant going back to Bethlehem.
Easier? I just took the census on my phone.
No phones for Mary and Joseph. They just loaded up the donkey and off they went.
And here reluctantly steps forward the donkey!
Could be worse. Don't know how, but it could be.
Interesting costume choice.
Wait, those are my brown socks.
Ew. This donkey looks a little bit more like a dog than a donkey.
Hee-haw! Hee-haw! Hee-haw!
Okay, Mary, hop on the donkey's back. Joseph, you lead the way. Everyone, we're headed out towards the garage. Let's go. Hurry up. Rapido!
so the caravan of Donkey, Mary, and Joseph went down the stairs, out the door, and just before they opened the garage door,
Stop! We need the innkeepers.
In stepped the innkeepers, dressed in their finest and arms folded across their chests.
When Mary and Joseph got to Bethlehem, it was crowded. The streets were full of people.
And animals!
Yes, and animals. Mary and Joseph began to get worried about where they would stay. For you see, it was just about time for the baby to arrive. So they knocked on the first door of the inn they came to.
No room.
it was the same everywhere they went.
No room here! Scram, I'm full up! Sorry, no room.
Finally, they came to a place where the innkeeper was a little more friendly. And instead of telling them to get lost, the innkeeper showed them to the back where there was a stable, and he said that they could stay there for the night.
The innkeeper opened the garage door, the stable, and inside there was a car and also some animals and some hay, as stables have.
Places, everyone!
Mary and Joseph and all the animals went inside.
Well, this requires some imagination.
It's time. Mary and Joseph settled in, and they didn't seem to be bothered at all by the animals or strange garage things. And it was there that Mary had her baby, Jesus.
And then,
We know this part.
Mary wrapped him in cloth and laid him in the manger.
And just as they said this, Mary took a doll out from a box that was headed toward Goodwill, and she wrapped it in a sheet and laid it in the manger.
Now, everyone outside!
Ugh! But it's freezing.
I forgot my mittens.
Did anyone remember to pick up the dog poop? I vote inside with fake snow.
This won't take long, and there's hot chocolate and marshmallows for everyone when we're done.
Hooray!
Yay!
So everyone trooped along and headed to the backyard.
Gabriel, stand on the ladder, and the rest of the angels just gather round. Where are the sheep and the shepherds?
Granny told everyone, even though it was daylight, just imagine it was midnight and the only light was from the stars and the moon.
Outside of Bethlehem, there were some shepherds watching their sheep.
You awake?
Yep,
What you thinking?
same as usual.
Nothing?
Yep.
You smell that?
Yep.
Is it you?
Yep. And you?
Yep.
And suddenly, an angel appeared to them. And just like Mary, they were scared half to death.
The shepherds and the sheep were all shaking and shivering from fear, or maybe because it was freezing outside.
Just then, the sky was filled with light.
I remember my line. Do not be afraid. We have some great news. The baby, the one you've been waiting for, is here. You'll find him wrapped in cloth, laying in a manger.
Then all the angels started singing about peace and kindness among all the people.
And now it's your turn. Everyone join in and sing.
Well, sing along. When the angels went away, the shepherds went to Bethlehem to find the baby, wrapped in cloth and lying in the manger.
Ready?
Yep. You?
Yep.
The angels jumped from the ladder and everybody headed back into the garage.
There they were, all together, Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus, the animals that shared their space, the shepherds, and a few sheep that tagged along. It might not have been the nicest place for a birth, but it didn't matter where they were. It mattered why they were.
It was about peace.
And something new.
And that big version of love God has for the world, then and today.
But what about the hot chocolate?
Well, our storytellers found out that even though it isn't usually how we do it, Christmas brings us together, even when we're not together.
We don't need sparkly spaces or light-up costumes.
We can let go of the sacred cows we think we need.
When we stop and take a breath, we find out that all we really need is how to be loved and how to love others. And everyone said,
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!